Hi guys, this is Twin, and this is my matcha jasmine tiramisu video. This tasted exactly like having a jasmine matcha latte in a tiramisu form. It was so creamy and velvety, but it was still really light and floral, and honestly, you can tell when I take a scoop how soft this tiramisu is. I love combining different flavor combinations just because it's so much more fun, and I'm really happy how this one turned out, so here's how you make it. Okay, you're gonna want to start off by steeping your heavy cream in some really good quality jasmine. I actually got this jasmine from China when I had a layover, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that I'm here. China's so well known for their teas, and these jasmine pearls were insane. They smelled so good. They were so light and floral, but somehow creamy. So over some very low heat, you're gonna want to steep your heavy cream for just a few minutes. You don't want to like ruin the heavy cream because you still need it to whip up later. So super low heat and only for a few minutes. Then you're gonna want to strain it out. You're gonna want to pour in the remaining heavy cream and just let it chill in the fridge for a few hours. And then I didn't want to waste the leftover jasmine just because it still had so much flavor, so I decided to steep the milk in there as well, and then we're gonna use that to dunk our ladyfingers in. I can't even lie, I used to have such a hard time making tiramisu. It was just something about the temperatures and the textures that I couldn't get right, but I finally found a method and a recipe that works so well for me, and this is how you do it. All you're gonna want to do is whisk up some egg yolks and a little bit of sugar. You're just going to want to whisk that until it's light and fluffy, and then we'll move on to our mascarpone. I totally forgot about this step, but you can totally pasteurize your egg yolk mixture. I just like doing this in case any of my friends or my family that I give away my tiramisu to don't feel comfy eating raw eggs. This is just to be extra careful. You just need a double boiler, and the egg yolk temperature just needs to reach 138 degrees. Just continue mixing the entire time, and then you'll be good to go. Afterwards, just take it off the heat and let it come to room temp. Next, we have our mascarpone. The secret I found is just to use straight mascarpone cold from the fridge, and then adding your egg mixture onto the cheese. Then we have our heavy cream that's been infused and steeped in the jasmine, and we're just gonna pour that over straight from the fridge. To me, this is such an easier method because I don't have to have everything like sitting out in the counter or anything. I can just get it straight from the fridge. And then you're just gonna do a little mixy mix. In the beginning, it'll be very liquidy because you're essentially just whisking the heavy cream, but keep on going, it will get fluffy, I promise. Okay, so you just want to whip it until it's thickened but not fluffy, and you'll see why later. So for this matcha, I actually got it in Japan. I was on a trip to Uji, which is the matcha capital of the world, and I got to pick up this 100-gram matcha tin, and so it's been so much fun using it. But for this recipe, we're just gonna want to turn it into a paste. I've seen some other tutorials that basically just dump the matcha powder into the cream and whip it up, but I find that that makes it kind of lumpy and it doesn't really like extract the full flavors of the matcha. So after making it into a paste, I like to add a little bit of the cream that we had just to make it easier when you whip it all in. And then you add it to your heavy cream and mascarpone cheese mixture, and then you're just gonna want to mix it. Look at how pretty this is. It's like a work of art. I was amazed. Off camera, I also forgot to record. I added in a little bit of vanilla just to enhance the flavors, as well as some salt to balance it out, but I'll have the full recipe written on my blog. So traditional tiramisu soaks the ladyfingers in coffee. We're gonna do the same, except we're gonna make a matcha latte. So this is the milk that's been sitting in with the jasmine leaves and infusing. It came out super strong and nice and floral. Then I'm gonna do the same thing, make a matcha base, and then add it into the milk. Essentially, you're just gonna wanna make your favorite matcha latte. I added in some agave, but you can also use condensed milk or maple syrup if that's the flavor that you like. Also, another thing that I really love about this recipe is whether it's for the cream or this matcha latte part, you can really adjust it to however much matcha you like. If you like a lighter matcha flavor, use less matcha. If you really love matcha, use more matcha. This is literally your world, your tiramisu. You can do whatever you want. Speaking of which, I also like to add in jasmine extract, which you can get from your local Asian supermarket, or I'll have a link on Amazon. But I think it just adds another depth and dimension to the jasmine tiramisu, and yeah, it's so good. Another tip I have is to only dunk your lady fingers in for like literally a second. If you dunk it in for really long and you let it soak, your tiramisu will end up like really soggy and not that fluffy cake-like texture that we want. Okay, after you're finished adding on your last layer of cream, you're just gonna want to cover that up and throw it into the fridge for at least 3 to 4 hours to really let everything soak and marinate, or preferably overnight. And then we'll take it out of the fridge and start dusting on the matcha powder. I feel like this dessert is a reflection of my most recent Asia trip. We had originally landed in Japan, which is where I picked up the matcha, then flew over to Vietnam, which is where I got the jasmine flowers that you'll see in this video, and then on our way back to the States, we had a layover in China, which is where I mentioned I got the jasmine leaves. And yeah, it's just so special to me. I'm really happy I got to blend all the different teas that I picked up along the way to have it into this little dessert. And obviously not to forget that tiramisu is originally from Italy. But overall, I just really love creative baking. I like blending different flavors together, like the banana bread chocolate chip cookies. That video did so well. We got to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching my videos and being here and liking what goes on in my brain. I can't wait to make more videos for you guys and share more recipes. Now I'm just going to decorate it with some jasmine flowers and a sprinkling of rose petals, and that's about it. So last week was my first ever YouTube voiceover, and I got a lot of good comments. People really seemed to like it and like the tips and me explaining it. So I think I might keep it this way. If you want like a totally separate video that's just ASMR, let me know as well. But yeah, that's it for this video. The full recipe is already gonna be on my blog, lifewithtwin.com, and yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe and let me know what you want to see next.